marketing effort that you are doing, if your target audience doesn't understand, whatever you are doing doesn't make sense. It doesn't create any impact.
Do you think one successful product can
Yes.
create an entire brand? Can that one product make sure that the entire brand is successful?
I think it depends on which country you are in, honestly. In UK, people like the establishment, like website is more like an office. You have something concrete, you own it, you own the platform. Social medias are more like you rented some space in other platforms. It is a halo effect. For example, Apple, right? Say we like iPhone.
So we call you as Shwe.
Yes. And I call you Cheyenne, is it?
Cheyenne, yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay.
Shwe, before founding Makers and Mind, you
Yeah.
spent years and years in marketing and even built a massive personal audience, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
What first drew you into this field of digital marketing, content creation?
Well, before I founded Makers and Minds, I have been in the marketing industry for 13 years. I have worked for both multinational and startup companies, quite international. So I have worked in Myanmar, Thailand, and also UK. Have worked for multiple products, market leaders, and like the brand which just penetrate into the market, stuff like that. Gone through many stories. So basically, I have lots of experience and I have a lot to offer. I have learned a lot about marketing academically, I mean, in terms of academic and also, the actual working experience. So based on all of that, I definitely need to apply all these assets, the resources. Have to continue doing that. So that's the inspiration for me to start Makers and Minds. Aside my following, that personal following is another story. I mean, that's another business entity. So I have a success story to show also, the success story of my personal brand, aside my corporate experience and academic, learnings. So yeah, I would say all these resources inspire me to start Makers and Minds. Thank
You
you.
often say that you wanted to simplify marketing for business
Yes.
owners.
Yes.
What was that aha moment that led you to start Makers in Mind?
Yeah. So I always believe simplifying actually. It is not just in Makers and Minds, it's across all my experiences. Before I start Makers and Minds, I have already been familiar with content creation also from the business before, no, I should say my other business called Tuma Coaching and also my corporate experiences. From all of that, I have learned something. You can name theories or you can talk about big case studies or, giant businesses. In any cases, it is about talking to your target audience. I think let's start with knowing your right target audience, and then you create relevancy between your brand and your target audience. So any marketing effort that you are doing, if your target audience doesn't understand, whatever you are doing doesn't make sense. It doesn't create any impact. So that's why I believe in simplifying, either in terms of digital marketing content or any other marketing effort. It has to be simple enough for the target audience to follow and understand.
So, for any small business,
Yes.
what is that activity according to you which is like initially needed to communicate with the target audience?
Simple, actually. Let's start with explaining what you do because I myself have gone through that. I think I have I think I have used this story in one of my content on LinkedIn also. There was one day an Uber driver asked me, "What do I do?" That was, like within 1 month of creating Makers and Minds, I just started it, within 1 month. I mean, nothing have achieved yet. I don't even have a page yet. I'm just working on my brand strategy and then, the brand identity, logo, and all of that. So when the Uber driver asked me, I paused and think, what do I answer? What do I do? And my fiance has to cover the answer. Actually, she runs the marketing agency. He has to answer on my behalf because I don't know how to introduce myself. So I think I would say introducing what you do. If someone asks you, what do? You have to come up confidently in one line what you actually do. Yeah, let's start with that. Yeah.
How does that they do it? Do you think the best way is the website, a landing page, social media videos? Because you started with Instagram videos, is what I understand. So, what do you think? Social media first or website and Google first?
I think it depends on which country you are in. Honestly, in UK, website is really appreciated. And honestly, even though I haven't had the website yet, we are still working on it. We started with social media because that, the social media it's my number one expertise, That's why I started with that. But we are working on the website also. So I think when it comes to UK, it's website because people like the establishment, like website is more like an office. You have something concrete, you own it, you own the platform. Social medias are more like you rented some space in other platforms like that. So I think having a website is critical, and then you have social media, which will promote your website across the platforms. Um, but it depends on the countries again. For UK, yes, but for my own country, Myanmar, I would say social media is better because people don't care so much about website and they don't actually search the services and products on Google. Their search engine is it's majority, I think, Facebook. So that's why social media is more critical. So it depends on the market. Yeah.
So, your major clientele is from the UK or Myanmar?
At this point, majority from Asia. I won't say Myanmar because some are from Thailand. And UK, I am still talking to the people, having some leads. But majority at this point during the 3 months time, existing clients are from Asia with leads from UK.
So, you've worked both for local and international brands, including 3 years with Royal Myanmar Temex. How did
Yes.
these experiences shape you as a marketer? You are running
Well,
an agency.
yes, actually, not just Raya Myanmar. I mean, Raya Myanmar is my work as an influencer. I'm a ambassador for the brand for like over 3 years. I mean, even when I have been living in UK, I'm still working for the brand. But then I have worked for many other brands also. Like I've worked for Deligon and have worked for liquors as well, whiskeys, and in the different countries, not just one. And I work for like soft drink beverages and online marketplace, stuff like that. What else?
What's your
Yeah.
favorite industry out of all the ones that you've worked for?
The one I'm working right now, my own, I have Makers and Minds, and in parallel, I have another company in Myanmar called Tuma Coaching,
Not
which
coaching.
is an educational platform. I do coaching, consultation, and also training classes. So that's the educational product. I feel that I really create a big impact on people's life. So I really like the industry. That would be my number one industry, followed by alcohol. I like whiskey industry also. I have spent over 5 years time in whiskey industry. I have worked for market leader brands from Myanmar and Thailand. So that was very interesting. Yeah, so I like about that too. So from all of that, all the brands, right? I believe in brand. I believe in brand marketing. So when it comes to marketing, there are different types of marketing. Brand marketing is my top subject, I would say. And if you create the brand image, like the very, very powerful, strong brand image, which is deep rooted in your target audience mind, that is very sustainable success that you can create. It's not just you have a product, it's functionally it is such a great product. That's why you are selling at a certain value. Well, that's good. But when you create the power of the brand, not just the functional value, the emotional value of the brand, the potential of that brand is not the functional value only, not just what that brand is capable. It's a lot more potential than that. Seeing that potential is it's everything actually. The power of brand, which is what I learned from working for multiple brands.
So,
Do I make sense or it is
key factor, yeah.
do I make sense? Did I make sense or
No,
do you want
of
me
course, you're
to?
making sense. And I feel, the biggest of companies, for example, Apple,
Yeah.
if you remove the logo, it's just a smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. That's the power of brand, isn't it?
So, of course, we all are living in an era where people have understood the value of brands. And I was
Mhm.
reading a data where just 30 years back, most of the companies, their net worth consisted of tangible assets, which was real
Mhm.
estates, property, infrastructure. Now it is the brands and the IPs that they have created.
Mhm.
People have started understanding the value of brand, and
Yes.
what could be better than talking about brand to an expert like you? What are the key
Okay.
factors according to you that people consider, or rather influences people's decision to engage with a brand? Like what factors influence them? What do you think?
If I have to pick only one, I would say relevancy. Like whatever the brand is communicating, whether digital content or like TV commercial or a billboard or anything, whatever the brand is communicating from text, visuals, video, anything, that is consistently making you feel that the brand is talking to you. The brand understands you as a person, your lifestyle, your values, and ultimately the value of that brand match the value that you believe in. That will make someone a person, either consciously or unconsciously connected to the brand and believed in it.
Do you think one successful product can
Yes.
create an entire brand? I mean, if there is a brand with a plethora of products, one
Mhm.
product gets successful, can that one product make sure that the entire brand is successful?
To some extent, yes. That is called halo effect. I have talked about that in one of my content also. For example, in Apple, right? Say we like iPhone. So it can be like, okay, that can be someone who buy one iPhone or someone just keep updating, the upgrading the iPhone. I mean, whatever the model comes out, just keep updating it. Like really loyal to Apple. So if Apple introduce another product, the brand has more chances in that consumer's mind to buy this new product, whatever the new thing, like iPad or even charger, small one. I mean, charger, it can be like if you go to eBay, there are way many chargers. You can use it for iOS, isn't it? No, but you want to buy the charger only from Apple. And even iPad cover, can you not buy it from somewhere else with a lower price? You can, even like multiple designs, but then you still want the Apple original. It is a halo effect. The success of one product influence you with the other products under the same brand to some extent. So my answer is to some extent here. Yeah.
So, how can a small business do this or implement the halo effect in their marketing?
Yes. In this case, consistency will be the answer. And I'm saying it not from just reading the books. It's my actual hands-on experience. As I said, aside my Makers and Minds, I have another business called Tuma Coaching locally, successfully running in Myanmar, right? So there I have a different services, right? This is a knowledge product, so it's like more like services, not the act, how to say, tangible product, intangible knowledge products. So I started with online courses and more like Zoom events and selling the recorded videos courses, right? I started with that. It was successful with its brand positioning. It has done a good job. And when I launched the one-on-one coaching, the people who have attended my courses, who has already exposed to my quality, the way I walked, the people who has already built trust on my quality come to me since day one. Since I launched the brand, today I launched it, not brand, sorry, product, right? In this case, new service. I already have clients there.
So, it's a
And
funnel
then
approach that is running in your case, probably.
yeah. So I mean, the reason why I launched one-on-one coaching to start with, the idea comes from my clients. They've been asking for it forever, but before I haven't done it because I'm working full time in UK. So and then I've been studying, so I didn't do that yet. But then when I decided to invest my in it fully as a full-time job, then I launch it and I have a client right away. I mean, it's in a waiting list, and then I've been doing it and it's been doing well. And then some clients come and ask, do you do the mentorship, meaning to say it's like a long time, not just 1 hour, 2 hours. They mean, can you be like my mentor? I mean, people who can spend money also, I learned that people can spend money.
How much
It's
money do people spend for mentorship sessions? Like what?
uh, around, I mean, if I have to calculate with UK, I think it's gonna be around 40 to 50 pound per hour. Yeah, so it's the same thing. I calculated as a 6-month package. And so with that came a demand that fast. So why not I create the product, right? And when I started doing the mentorship again, some people came to me for like business consultation. I mean, the way you are doing your business, you're launching your products. We also want to do something like that. How do we do the marketing? Then I launched my consultation package also. So basically, if I have to, if I have to reflect what works here. Number one, it's about knowing my audience. I was start from that. What they need, in their lifestyle, what they are doing in their life, what do they need exactly. So based on that, based on my research, I create the product line, right? Consistently reaching out to them from the different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, everywhere, TikTok. I cannot miss the TikTok these days. So yeah, keep reaching out,
You're
keep
not on
popping
TikTok?
up on TikTok. Yeah.
You said
But
you
not in
okay.
English yet. Not in English yet. Only in Burmese. Yeah. So that I think that will answer the question. I think consistently reaching out, understanding
Years
the
of
research.
credibility that is built from consistency. You're not
Yes.
leveraging it to launch your new products. Doesn't come
Yes.
overnight.
Yes, exactly.
So, in a lot of your contents I've seen in your journey from junior employee to a business owner, you've
Yes.
spoken about learning to let go and
Mm-hmm.
trust your team. How did
Mm-hmm.
that transformation happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So two ways here. Number one is leadership. Number two is not leadership, but more like individual management, like energy management or work management, something like that. So I will start from leadership. As a leader, it's very important for anyone to understand that everybody has their own way of working, like working style. I have my own working style, and all my team members, each of my team member have their own way of working style also. And of course, when they work for me as a boss, as a leader, they will also have to adapt the way I work and what I want. But vice versa, it's also important for me to understand what is the most productive working environment for them. If I create what kind of productive working environment that will help them to come up with more like effective, better outcomes. So it's vice versa. So when you as a leader trying to control everything, anything, they don't have a space to, understand something, make a little bit of mistake, before they get to the best potential. They need to have a chance to test it, experiment it. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, let's change my way of working and do something different, something like that. It's called learning cycle, learning curve. They don't have the chance to do that anymore. And to make it worse, they will be scared to do anything. And then marketing it's a creative work. It's commercial, yeah, but it's also very creative, right? So if the environment is a blame culture, if I keep blaming because they're not giving me something I want, each and every little thing I want to control it, it has to be my taste, my take, then they won't have a space to create, to experiment, to enjoy the work as well. So as a leader, it's very important to let go. And also as an individual, it's about understanding what your coworkers want. I mean, what your boss want, what your clients want, and in my case, as an influencer, what your target audience want. It's not all about what you want. Sometimes too much the target audience needs. You probably might have to let go of what you want to some extent. So if you're trying to make it all you, it's all about you. You're not speaking to your target audience anymore. You are just this is a page talking about you only.
Somebody told
Then
me a marketing guru that marketing is all
yeah,
about thinking from the customer's perspective,
exactly.
following that in your daily life,
Yes,
even with the employees. So with
yes,
employees, you're thinking from the employee's perspective.
yes.
You can do that because you have the experience, relevant experience as an employee plus as a boss.
Exactly. So, whenever I have something which I'm not happy about any of my employee, I think from their perspective. I was once an employee also. If my boss say this thing, I'm thinking to tell his or her at this point, if I'm gonna scold, I mean, say that I feel like scolding someone and I reflect myself, you as an employee, if your boss is gonna scold you like this, are you gonna be happy? How would the rest of your day look like? Are you going to be happy? Do you want to stay in this company? Probably not, right? You wouldn't want it. So they also wouldn't want it. So it's not about, okay, then are you not going to say anything? He or she make a mistake. Are you not going to express anything as a boss? Well, not really. I will say that, but not scolding. Of course. First asking, what is the reason of making this mistake? What can I help you so that you won't do this again? Is there anything that, I can do as a boss better so that you will learn this? Stuff like that. There are different ways of addressing it instead of scolding. Yeah, that is also something about letting go, I would say. I let go of my ego and my anger.
Trust your team.
Yeah.
So there is a trend of outsourcing these days. What do you think? Should businesses, especially in our industry, have a complete in-house team or should outsource as well to freelancers
Um,
or other specialized agencies? What is your opinion on this? And do you outsource?
well, as a big company, there are different reasons why big companies outsource because I used to work for the big companies, right? So it makes sense for them to outsource. So for the big companies, more potential to more chances to outsource. The reason, right? The reason why they do that, number one, they have a very complicated laws like rules and regulations. So having more employees kind of make it more complex and like risky in terms of rules and regulations. So that's number one. And number two, from HR point of view also, right? Hiring people costs a lot actually, right? Let's say in marketing departments, right? We do events. So when you do events, you need many people, like manpower, isn't it? For the stage, for branding, yeah, for food and beverage, like catering, like so many things. Many people you need it. But it's not like you need them all the time. You need it only when you have an activity, only when you have an event. So in that kind of thing, it's better if you outsource it. So those are the like some reasons why big companies outsource. But for SME, in my company, I don't need to outsource yet because I don't need many people, like manpower. I don't need many. And the things I need with my existing employees, I can still manage it because me as a founder, I am fully involved in it still. So we are still good. I think for the SME, it is still manageable with a limited number of people. But then again, it depends on the country. In UK, I have seen some SME outsource also, like say AI automation. They don't need a whole department for AI automation. So they collaborate and work with the automation company. And some people have the say marketing, like they have the company itself is about marketing, right? So they don't have the sales force. They work with a sales company, you know. I have seen this a lot. The company who are concentrated and focused on lead generation on LinkedIn, the company who is focused on web design, the company who is focused on, sales only, stuff like that. So they collaborate each other. I've seen this also. At this point, I don't need yet. So I won't say it's outsourced. I will say it's more like collaboration for SME. It's very different models. Yeah.
So do you also collaborate with freelancers or other agencies or you do everything in-house?
No, I don't need because my case is quite niche. I am operating in UK, but I have my source in Myanmar.
Oh.
So
A
I have
global
employees
setup.
already. Yeah, I already have a set of employees who work for my local business in Myanmar.
Mhm.
And then they are capable to run my
Yep.
UK business also. So I don't need to do it at this point. Yeah.
So, how do you measure success for your clients? What tells you a strategy is truly working?
Yeah, so this is all about expedition management. Once I start working with a client for any service, I make sure I know what they need and whether I can give that or not. I make sure that also. I really care about expedition management. So understanding then what is their goal, even if they're not clear, I will help them clear with that, have the clarity between us. Say if they want a strategy, under the strategy, these are the topics that I'm going to cover. I will say that. If it is the content, how many content and what is the engagement rate, I will make it clear. Goal setting is the very important part of the process. And then we have, of course, contracts with the terms and conditions. So success is about knowing the goal and then making sure that goal, it's not one formula.
Correct. If the expectation setting is correct from the day one, probably
Yes,
they'll achieve that.
exactly.
But in the
Yes.
beginning only, do you have an engagement rate expectation?
Yes, we give the engagement rate as a bottom line 7 to 8%, but we always outperform that. For example, like my existing pages in UK pages, we're running with over 10% actually, but our committed rate is 7 to 8% engagement rate. Yeah,
I guess maximum social media companies struggle with giving a number. It's very
exactly.
that you're giving a
Yes.
number in terms of engagement.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, if you go through the studies, you will see that as a commercial brand. I mean, you're not an influencer. If you're not an influencer, you're a commercial brand. Like 3 to 6% is already a good number. Because Facebook, the average rate is just around 1 or 2%. So usually people give around like 3 to 6%. We have already promised from like 7 to 8, which is already a good number. But in my experience, the way we are operating right now, we kind of like managed to get over 10% still. Yeah.
How do you do that? What is the unique thing that you do that drives so much engagement?
It's a community building. It takes lots of effort also, actually, to get to that kind of engagement rate. It takes time and then team to perform it like as a team, like cohesively. For example, first of all, my content has a pillar. It is not a random content. It's like, okay, for this page, we have communication pillars. For example, we have something educational. We have something which talks about product, like the product explanation, what we are doing. And we have something entertaining also. So, I mean, in 1 month, if we create 10 contents, that 10 contents has to come from educational pillar, how many percent, something like that. So, for example, in Makers and Minds, most of our contents are educational,
Correct.
right? We're a little bit of entertaining and followed by a little bit of sales. So that is a hierarchy. So if you keep selling, if you keep talking about your product all the time without giving away anything, I mean, what is the reason for the people to follow you, isn't it? Unless you boost it. Even if you boost it, it's kind of like they won't probably spend time on your page, right? But then if your content is educational and gives something to the viewers, they have a reason to come to your page and check your content. They will have a habit of checking your content, something like that. So I make it more educational. We make it more educational so that we give a reason to the viewers to come check us regularly and engage with us, comment on our social posts, something like that. So that would be one. And the second, I mean, well, if you do that, is it going to be enough? Well, after some time, yes. But then to enforce that, we, as a team, go and search the pages where our target audience hang out, UK SME pages. We go and, participate in their community content. We also share our content, talk with the people, have a conversation, bring these people to our page. That is how we get that kind of engagement. That's the maximum level of, spending time there. And then the mix of the content also say a lot, like video, post, story, test, and then replying all the comments, messages, things like that. Even if, say, I have some clients, actually, they are SME from Yorkshire. They saw my content, our content, and they find it really helpful for them, and they trying to check us. And sometimes they are not ready to buy a service yet because they have just started it right now. They are at the very embryo stage and still thinking. But then, when they come and have a conversation, we try to be stay helpful. If they have questions, we answer like, how do you think it's my website, stuff like that. It's just normal conversation, trying to be helpful in just like one discovery call and stuff. Even though they haven't bought the service yet. In the community, we're trying to be helpful also in terms of content. So that kind of help us changing this lead into the sales also,
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
community building. Mhm.
So marketing trends are evolving fast. What
Mhm.
are the biggest shifts you see coming in the next few years?
I would say the community actually. Really believe in the community because um, I'm earning from that, to be honest. You know, I'm earning from the community. That's why I believe in it. That's what I'm trying to do in UK also. I know, I mean, I have started it 3 months ago. I'm not, I mean, not the scale that I have built in Myanmar yet, but I believe in reaching that momentum at one day. And I think it's about community because, creating content because of AI, Canva, CapCut these days, it's easy. Everybody can start doing a graphic. Everybody can start doing a video, a post. Knowledge is out there everywhere. You start watching some YouTube video about digital marketing, you will at least know how to create content, even though you don't know the whole marketing strategy and stuff, right? But you still know how to do the content. So knowledge is out there. But then people value the connections. People value the actual connection and that you actually care about them. You don't necessarily need to be like big following. You don't necessarily need to be big budget brand. If you have a community which believes in you and you are consistently building that, I'm pretty sure that you can create a powerful brand.
Do you have a final message for every entrepreneur to remember about building brands that truly connect?
I would say, especially where I am right now with what I'm doing, my current mood, don't like be brave enough to start. Since this message is to the entrepreneurs, sometimes people hesitate to even create content, even post something,
Correct.
where people like it. What if nobody likes my content? It looks pretty embarrassing. Nobody liked my content. Mostly people are scared of that. I'm talking to many people who have the goal to be the entrepreneur. The problem is not even about market. The problem is not even about not having enough capital, no funding. Not even that. The problem is confidence. People are scared if they start something and that doesn't happen. What
Correct.
does it say about me? Like, I don't have a skill to do that. Since they are scared of that image, they don't start doing it anymore. But we have to understand that all big brands, who are like successful right now, they start from that. So, I mean, don't think too much about how other people will think about you. Just focus on what you do, focus on the quality, the passion of what you are actually creating, and don't think too much about the outside.
Correct.
And just be brave enough to start. That's the message.
Thank you, Shwe, for your insightful conversation. I'm
Mhm.
sure the audience will relate with you and break their inertia, get out of the comfort zone, start
Mhm.
creating content as soon as
Mhm.
possible.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity, to talk about my beliefs.